Greetings everyone. I would just like to welcome everyone. I will welcome Mr. Elsia from Bulletin and Mr. Mbeki from Bulletin. Thank you for availing yourselves for this media conference. We called it as a GMM Joint Civil movement regarding the stand that we took, a campaign in a petition that we wanted to see the government building municipality be placed under administration. I'll give my master clerk administrator the opportunity to do the presentation of the statement and the discussion. Mr. Sibego. Before we can do the statement and presentation, I would like to call our colleague, Mr. Emmanuel, to come and just read the statement, and then Mr. Sibego will elaborate. Thank you.
Project title, Progress Update regarding the stand number 2 by Govan Municipality Joint Civil Movement towards demanding the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature to Govan local municipality under Section 139 administration for their failures to uphold Chapter 7 of our country's constitution. Introduction. We as a Govan Municipality Joint Civil Movement, commonly known as GMM Joint Civil Movement, hereafter referred to as the Association, a movement of a civil society organization and community campaigners aligned to bring into account those defiant to the military prescribed of our South African Constitution and other democratic processes. Application. In raising our civil concern and those of distressed citizens regarding the state of unconstitutional and poor municipal services received from the Govan municipality, a community protest managed by the GMM Joint Civil Movement ensued in a form of petitioning the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature to intervene in a form of placing Govan local municipality under Section 139(1)(c) administration. The campaign commenced date was on the 4th of August 2020, ended on the 29th August 2020. After recording 10,017 signed hard copy petition from distressed community members around the Govan local municipality, advocating for a positive change to be enjoyed by all. It is with a pleasure to announce that the 10,017 petition from communities around Govan accompany the main petition from the GMM Joint Civil Movement, were successfully submitted and received order by the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature on the 4th of November 2020. As per the Mpumalanga Petitions Act number 6 of 2000 guidelines. It was a journey led to great achievement, even though we were to be subjected under tough environmental conditions such as the adherence towards the COVID-19 imposed regulation, limited manpower and undersized resources. On the 13th of October 2020, the Office of the Secretary from the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature responded to us via email, where we received a formal letter signed by the Acting Secretary on the 12th of October 2020 with reference number MPL 17/1/1146-2020, acknowledging receipt of the petition and that the request has been forwarded to the relevant department for intervention and to report back to the legislature by the 4th of December 2020, where we shall receive a verdict regarding our demand. For all interested parties seeking to gain access to the records can do so by interacting with us via email, call, visit our office based at Mbeki, or find it on our Facebook page. We highly and sincerely thank all distressed communities for standing up and exercising a constitutionally protected right for the demand of a better and prosperous change. Okay, signed by Master Administrator on the 17th, 11/2020.
Thank you. And now we'll give Master Administrator the opportunity to elaborate on the presentation that was made by Emmanuel.
Thank you. Greetings, colleagues. We thank you all for showing up to this press conference. As he has mentioned, my name is Vuse Sibiego, and I am the elected Master Administrator of Govan Municipality Joint Civil Movement. Well, regarding the release of the statement, basically it covers, in short, all the activities that were conducted as per the goal or as per the stand that has been took by GMM Joint Civil Movement. Put it correctly, actually the commence date was on the 4th of August 2020 and ended on the 29th of October. I think my fellow colleague made an error there, 2020. Yes, it was harsh for us since we had limited resources, whereby we had to travel all towns around GMM Municipality. That would be Mbalenhle, Pefal, Chansilas, Venda, Secunda, Kinross. The only town that we couldn't visit basically was Leander. Reason being, at that time we have managed basically to receive the 10,017 signatures, and we looked at the time frame whereby, since we've shared with limited resources, it had to have we had to stretch a bit, so to actually find or achieve the 10,000 petitions. So after receiving, that's how we said no, due to these conditions, therefore, and the goal has been actually achieved, it will be better to actually engage now with the provincial legislature. So it doesn't mean that their concerns are not taken into consideration, because the fight is mainly for improving the state of Govan Municipality. So including Leandra as part of Govan Municipality, meaning whatever change that can come across, obviously shall be enjoyed even by those communities that we've never actually managed to come over or meet up with. Yeah, so that's how it happened. Fortunately, yes, we were received well by the provincial legislature. We did successfully submit, and we are just now waiting for the verdict that should be actually be presented to us, I believe, on the 4th of December 2020.
Which is the presentation of the current governance affairs and discussions. Hand over to Mr. Admin.
Thank you, Chairperson. Well, here the item on the agenda, current affairs within the Govan local municipality. They are interesting. We've seen quite a lot of changes happening, which have actually led to placing the municipality administration. So we're following those matters almost on a daily basis, basically, where we had to actually respond to it also as a movement as to how do we feel about all the interventions that have took place recently. Our take on the interventions made by the relevant parties concerned being Parliament, since we know it's Parliament last the National Council of Provinces, the Mpumalanga Legislature, the Mpumalanga Provincial Executive, regarding current municipality state of paralysis. Well, firstly, I would just get to the forensic report. The final report for the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs in Mpumalanga Province investigation in terms of Section 1C, subsection 1B of Local Government and the Municipal Systems Act 32 of 2000. The GMM Joint Civil Movement received a copy of the report since it is funded by taxpayers' money and being a matter of public interest. We have studied the report basically, and we've gone through it and came up with a conclusion that those implicated in the report should be held to account as per the forensic report recommendations. That's our take on it. This is the full report. As we've said, it we have access to it. Anybody who still wants to have it, I believe, can get access to it because it's public information. So our take on it, we saw some senior ranking officials, private companies, employees of the municipality mentioned, where we are looking at how it's going to be handled, basically. Because as per the recommendation, it was said it needs to be adopted by council and also referred to the relevant authorities for seeking accountability or hold to account those implicated or so. But we've seen some interventions from the province and so on, of which we don't know why. But then we won't deal with it that much because we don't know even what is behind it. So we don't have to touch it that much, but we welcome it. If our government is serious about putting people's first, about one-to-billion principle, to a campaign, let them take this report and refer it to relevant authorities for holding those implicated to account. So that's what we seek of. We won't entertain it further because we don't know what is happening. But we are more interested in some recommendations from this report, of which I believe that one will touch it under the administration that has just took place by the 29th of October this year, where this municipality was placed under administration. But on that one, the GMM Joint Civil Movement is not impressed about the interventions of the Mpumalanga Executive regarding how the matter has been handled, where it has left us with a number of questions to be presented to the province to explain. We seek the province to explain because somehow we don't understand it correctly. So, namely on two questions. Since the municipality has been placed under Section 139, one piece of administration, we know very well that our question first will be who is the appointed administrator or administrators of the Mbeki local municipality. Since we don't have the knowledge of being the public, because when a municipality is placed under Section 139 1B, requires the province to assume responsibility of that municipality because the municipality could not fulfill an obligation. So therefore, by assuming the responsibility, it requires an administrator to be appointed by the province. So therefore, we demand the MEC of Copter to provide us with directives as to who and when was they appointed the administrator, and how should we actually go about engaging the administrator if it's necessary. So, because as much as this is within the province, there are some other factors that requires, and how can I put it, senior administrators of this municipality to engage upon. So now we don't know who's the administrator, because we can't dissolve the municipality and just leave the municipality just like that. So that's why we are pushing Mr. Msibi to actually inform us correctly, so as to who's the appointed administrator by the province. Because why are we interested on that? Remember, through the forensic report, we found that there were councillors implicated, and I think a few of them. And it's a concern to us, because we found a majority of councillors, I could say, condone collusion between administration and council. Because if they were actually representing the interest of the public, they should have held to account the few councillors who are now implicated or who are now represented in this forensic report. So it tells you what? The majority of councillors within this municipality are actually overpowered by a minority within a democratic dispensation where there is majority. So our interest mainly is for that, to understand the administrator, because we've lost confidence on council. Because to us, we feel the majority of council actually condoned collusion. Because if they were not, they should have held those few individuals or councillors to account for what now it's been findings on this report. So that's why we want to interact with the administrator, because we as GMM Joint Civil movement, together with those who are in support of the stand, no longer have confidence on council, basically. So that's why we want to see as to who's the administrator, maybe that one. We can actually have such engagements with, hoping that it is here, namely, to transform our area in order to achieve a better society for all. So that is why we actually want to be presented with the administrator. And if there is no such, then unfortunately it will mean this intervention was actually, how can I put it, unlawful, unconstitutional. Because we need to have an administrator that has been appointed by the province. So if not, then it means it's unlawful for what they've done here. So, but then that matter is a matter that requires the provincial executive to actually come in and address us on that one. Yeah. Then moreover, we are asking this question because we saw the Speaker of Council, Mr. Hlakanipo Zuma, publicly making announcements on Monday, the 16th of November, about issues pertaining to railroad, since they've reduced pressure. So, in a way that we're now subjected to another harsh environment during lockdown regulations, where we as communities have to suffer for what the municipality has actually created, because the whole mess here is created by the municipality, not communities. Because within the Municipal Systems Act, clear that communities are not responsible for the state of services that we are. It's only the municipality. So we saw him making that announcement, where we believe that that particular space should have been a space provided for the administrator. Because Nhlangane is the political head of the municipality, not within the administration of the municipality. So we don't see him being given such a responsibility to address such matters pertaining to administration, yet knowing very well it is the political head of the movement. So we can't be addressed by politics in matters of governance, basically. So that is why we are still today asking who is the actual administrator here to respond to us, communicate with society, find out why is he here, how it's going, which intervention is bringing about to bring about change to this to this municipality, basically. So that's why we are demanding to find those answers, and we will also engage further with the province regarding such matters, because they have to be placed orderly, so we can actually understand as to how we go about to see if ever this government of us really is concerned and considers our concerns as residents of South Africa. Yeah, I believe that would be there. Then the other question would be the interventions of the relevant provincial, Mpumalanga provincial executives. According to the forensic report, under section 17, subsection 17.6, a consideration was made that should the municipality continue to underperform or fail to uphold its constitutional obligation, section 139(1)(c) shall be applicable. It's within this particular report. I think it's the last page. Last page. I just want to read it out. Yeah, here it is. Let me just read it out. As per the forensic report, subsection 17.6 states the following. Our investigations therefore concluded that there are sufficient grounds for the Provincial Executive Council to intervene further, including to involve law enforcement agencies and for the municipality to be placed under section 139(c) administration should the municipality continue to underperform and fail to solve the aforementioned key issues and disregard its own policies and constitutional and legal obligations. At this point, the municipality does not have strong future prospects to perform independently, considering the nature and the severity of allegations of maladministration and corruption. If they continue on this current path, there shall be an intervention if they continue on this current path. Yeah. So what we were hoping for on the 29th of October was the issue of adopting this and referring it to the necessary law enforcement agencies. But we witnessed a dissolvement of the executive, or of placing GMM members under section 139(1)(b) administration, meaning an intervention then was done by the province, meaning it tells you they still continued to underperform, which is why now there was this intervention where the municipality was placed under section 139(1)(b) administration. So now our query would be, why would the province now consider such, rather than continuing with this, with the findings from the forensic report? Why did they have to execute a subsection that was not even mentioned or considered within the report? So to us, it gives us a, how can we put it? It makes us not to sit well regarding the entire forensic investigation that was done here. Because if the province fails to uphold what is within this report, then what is going to happen with those implicated in this report? So our message to the province is that they should reconsider and determine and take decisions per this forensic report recommendations. So that is why we are saying, even today, we are still challenging. We are not happy with the intervention. Yes, the intervention is correct, but the subsection, we are not happy with the subsection. We are asking the province to reconsider and place this municipality under section 139(1)C administration as per the forensic report, if they really care about this society. Because we are still concerned with the current council that is still there. With the current council is the council that was supposed to protect our resources, basically. Yeah? But we saw the council colluding. So with this intervention taken by the provincial legislature, we feel that no, they took this decision under imaginations. So they are imagining things. They are not considering facts here. So we are not here to tell you imagines. We want them to consider the facts that are here. So that is why we are saying we are still pursuing this matter with the provincial legislature to ensure that this subsection gets to be applicable here. But if they still continue with what they are currently doing, then it shows that no, they are not really here for the community. They are here for their self-interest. Somewhere, somehow, they are still secured, or they are trying to secure. Because we know what the main achievement they are about to do. It's the actual economic matter of this area. That is why they are playing hide and seek here. We know what is happening here. We know the economy of the area. We know who has hands here. So we can't give dirty political hands into this municipality. So by dissolving this municipality, we are cleaning it up. We are transforming it. We are making it to be an inclusive institution as per Municipal Systems Act. But by taking such stance, we know very well that there are some form of securities there and there that they are trying to actually secure, even though they see this crisis. So that is why we are urging the province to reconsider. If you really care about this community here, if you really care, if you uphold to your policies, if you uphold to the constitution, if you are upholding to the laws, consider our concern as communities here. We want this municipality to be placed under section 139(1)C administration. That's it. No other way thereafter. Yeah. I think it should be.